Hello and welcome to this edition of Rogue Gaming. All of you know that I'm a big fan of Conan the Barbarian, and I kind of really want to play all the games that he's starring in. Here we can see him on the DOS, which looks like a pretty cool game, but I don't know, I'm kind of used to newer stuff. Well, what about this game? Well, I can't get it on the PC at all, and it's not on Steam, although this particular Conan game was PlayStation 3. And it was a really damn cool game. I would love a remake of this, by the way, I should say. And I know that Conan Exiles exists, but, you know, it's really not my favorite, type of game. It's a city-building game. Why make a Conan game that's a city-building game? I don't understand it. It's okay if it's your thing, but it is not mine. Well, enter Abathor. Now, I really love the retro style of this game, first and foremost. I did not really grow up in this era. I grew up in the PlayStation 1 era, but I really, really do appreciate pixel art. Now, in this game, you can select from a few different characters, but this character here, I forget what his name is the most like Conan the Barbarian. And I guess this is kind of what I've been looking for, right? Kind of a Robert E. Howard-inspired fantasy game. I had played Elden Ring for a few months, but I don't know, I was getting kind of bored of it. Like, you play a game too much and you just get bored of it. Look at the ocean in the background, by the way. That looks so damn cool, doesn't it? I like collecting those rubies at the bottom, too, and those little spiders. You know, I could just picture this being written in a really cool sword and sorcery tale. You know, the roaring ocean with the creatures coming up out of the sand, and Conan with his big old sword swinging away at these enemies. You know, the game works perfectly with the whole Robert E. Howard flavor thing here. Busting open these treasure chests, I'll tell you, is very, very addicting. I cannot leave one unopened. I'm just that kind of gamer. Like, if I see a chest or some kind of secret item, I have to get it. These guys are harder to beat than they look. You got to really time your swing. Those like big long guys that come out of the sand. I'll admit I had a little bit of trouble knowing how to do this. I feel like the directions at the bottom are a little unclear. But I feel like that's just like me. I don't know if that's so much a gaming, a game flaw, or if that's just like my own silliness or stupidity. But here I am trying to grab that one little red thing, and I finally did. This is kind of like what I would want in a Conan game, a more kind of hack and slash sort of deal. I mean, I would really love an Elden Ring style Conan game where he went around killing enemies. Again, putting Conan in a city building game, Conan Exiles, it just makes no sense to me. I don't remember Conan building many buildings. Now, granted, you're not really playing as Conan in the game. You're kind of in the Hyborian Age world. But still, I think this game better represents Conan than the actual Conan Exiles game. This reminds me much more of who the Barbarian is. And I really, really appreciate it. I really like the controls. I mean, it's not an easy game. Despite the colorful graphics, you do have to time your hits quite well. I don't know if this quite falls into the Souls-like. I don't think it does. But I'll tell you, the timing of the swings and such reminds me a little bit of Elden Ring, just slightly. I've also tried Baldur's Gate 3, which is a cool game. It doesn't quite scratch the Conan itch like this one does for me. But I do enjoy it, Baldur's Gate. It's a completely different game than this, of course. I mean, perhaps with me, it's the simplicity of this kind of game. I really like that I can just kind of pick up and start hacking and slashing away. There isn't a lot of thought. I can, I mean, it's definitely going to take a while for me to master this game because while the controls work very well, I have to learn the timing of the enemies, like in any good game. Here I am kind of going through the controls, in fact, just making sure I'm not missing anything. Probably learning how to use a skill and whatnot. And that kind of thing I kind of enjoy showing people. I enjoy kind of showing the struggle that I go through. This isn't the first time I picked up this game either, by the way, but this was the first time in quite a while that I had. But yeah, I really like this beach setting, and I'm sure it changes as you go forward in the game. But, you know, I feel like this makes for a really good opening level. It feels quite dangerous. I really love the little details of, like, the little holes in the wall there. That chest down at the bottom there is what I'm trying to get at now. And I'm, you know, instead of really just going quickly and hacking and slashing, I'm trying to really think of all my movements. Because again, despite the colorful graphics, it's not a game where you can just kind of run through it. There is a lot of maneuvering and platforming with this, which I really, really appreciate. You know, I'm not really a fan of beat-em-up games, which are just kind of run to one side and hit block and attack and, you know, defeat your enemies. I do like a game that requires a little more thinking, even though I might suck at most video games. But yeah, this is, I don't think this is a AAA game. I believe this is an independent game. And that's part of the reason why I'm kind of promoting it on my channel here. And if you want that kind of Robert E. Howard Conan itch, I mean, this has really worked for me. You know, I'm really enjoying my journey with this game. Yeah, I can't really say anything super bad about this game. I'm still learning quite a bit about it as I go along. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video.